The letter that I transcribed was written by John Calhoun on April 7, 1941. He starts by saying that the mail had been muddled up when he received a letter written Saturday before he received a letter written Friday. He mentions it with a conversational, amicable tone for the rest of the letter as well. I am returning Mother's letter. Glad you are going with to get her, because I think a change will do them all good. This sentence is an example of his conversational tone throughout the letter, but it is still unclear of who his recipient is. The recipient is unknown because he addresses the letter as folks, but it can be assumed that the recipient is a tenant because he explains making someone pay $25 to $50 for a room, which today would be close to $404 or $809. Glad you got the other room rented. Tell them to use the front stairs and not come down the back way, because they'll be in your kitchen the entire time. And make them pay in full. If they can't pay, rent to someone else or leave it idle. According to the postmark at the top of the letter, John is located at Camp Claiborne, which is a military training camp in Louisiana. This leads us to assume that he is in fact drafted in the military. Camp Claiborne was deactivated in 1945 and returned to its original Kostachy National Forest. According to the National Geographic World War II timeline, in April of 1941, World War II had been going on for 2 years already, and it was just a few months before the historical attacks on Pearl Harbor. Specifically, in April of 1941, Germany had conquered Greece and Yugoslavia. John may have been drafted in the military because of the time period of the letter, which may be why he never explains his personal situation to his recipient. Further research shows that the British were taking heavy losses in April 1941. Since these letters weren't very informational, I researched further into other letters, and turns out he is writing to his children, which would explain why he addresses them as folks and refers to his wife as mother. I found letters that are signed Your Father and letters that were addressed Dearest Dorothea, which would lead us to assume that Dorothea is in fact his wife.